Identity. Okay, let's take a look at my Facebook. So we can see my name here, Rina, and this is my profile picture. Yes, I took this in Minneapolis, as you can see from the big cherry behind me. I used to have a blonde hair too, and that was some crazy time. Then let's finally take a look at my bug. I'm a student at the University of Minnesota. I live in Minneapolis. I'm from Tokyo, and I have a boyfriend. There is even my birthday. My family. I have one brother, mom, and dad. And let's say I have some friends from this number. Oh, and I'm a member of ISEC in Minneapolis. Went to Mexico. I love my family. And of course my friends as well. And I used to be a cheerleader for over 10 years, so I love dancing. I went to only girls' school for 6 years, so yeah, here's me wearing classic Japanese uniform. And also, I was in the English musical club and I was pretty good. Just taking a look at my Facebook for 1 minute, you probably already know me well enough. Living in our media generation, it became so easy to see each other's identities and exposing ourselves. Woman, gay, old, Buddhist, engineer, and so many more. Now is the time that everyone is entitled to speak up for themselves and have the right to be themselves. It is a good thing. However, I feel like as more and more people desire to be seen and became easier to be seen, more and more people get less interested in each other. Everyone wants to be seen and accepted. But are these Facebook identities real? What does it even mean by real? I have two stories about my identities. First, how does my identity influence my communication experience? When I'm in Japan, my social identity surely influences my communication experiences. As I said before, I went to only girls' private school for 6 years from 12 to 17 years old, thanks to my hardworking parents. So, I almost only had girl friends. No school love, no love drama to talk about during the break time. And I can't even remember what we talked about instead. But I do remember that I laughed a lot and I do love them a lot. According to Jackson, social identity is how we identify ourselves in relation to others based on what we have in common. My communication was based on this social identity. My best friend, who went to the same school together with me every single day for 6 years, has the same sex, place of origin, educational status, language, family situation, common hobby, relationship with opposite sex, like as me. Not only her, but now that I think about it, and almost all my friends are like me. However, it completely changed in the US. In the US, my racial and ethnic identity had the biggest influence on my communication experience. The funny thing is, I've never ever recognized myself as an Asian or Japanese in Japan, and now that I'm surrounded by more racially diverse people, everything completely changed, even though I was still the same person. As an Asian international student, made me feel vulnerable so many times that I was afraid of speaking to native people, especially to white people. No one bullied me or told me, "Oh, we don't want you because you are Asian." No one told me that, but I still felt like I should be more like them, to talk to them and hang out with them. So I joined sorority when I came here. I started watching Keep It Up with Kardashians, started partying from Wednesday night, and I stopped caring about my grades. So many old friends actually told me that I have changed that time, but I did not notice. I even thought that they were jealous of me because now I'm cooler. Yes, I was successfully whitewashed. I was categorizing people as races and placed them into my stereotypical hierarchy that elevates some races and inferior others. One night, I had a huge fight with my previous roommate and went for a walk by myself. And I thought, if I am not Asian enough, or if I'm not white enough, what am I? Luckily, I could have noticed about my empty hearts with no real friends, but only with cool friends. And I quit the sorority. Now I do enjoy with other real friends who are from Oman, China, Brazil, Colombia, US, and so on. Still, my racial identity definitely do affect my communication. but in a positive way. Jackson explains 3 dimensions of ethnic identity: self-identification, knowledge about my culture, and feelings about belonging to my ethnicity. Now I am proud to be a Japanese and learning a lot more about my own culture that I have never learned before. And I do love Japan. This dramatic change taught me to have more communication with many people from other countries and always respect and appreciate their cultures. Second, how does my identity influence my learning experience? My class identity was affecting my learning experience in Japan. Only girls private school in Japan. And yes, it was really strict. There were rules about everything: no hair color, no piercing, no phones of course, or how to tie your scarf. Jackson says that people are unconsciously getting affected by the social class, and I was the one. Everyone was taught not to stand out, but to be elegant, not to aim high, but to shoot low. When I decided to go to the US college, everyone disagreed, even my parents. And my friends asked me so many times, "Why do you want to go? Why not Japan?" And I answered, "I want to be different. I need to be different." I fought for this struggle. I have searched a lot of universities, compared the options, and created many Excel sheets, ignored all the harsh words that were actually thrown by my best friends because they were stressed out with their study for Japanese college. I did handle it all by myself. That class identity gave me the most proper education in Japan, but my personal identity won over it at the end. And after I came to the US college, I loved it. As opposed to learning experience in Japan, my learning experience was driven by many identities: race, religion, multicultural, language, and so on. I loved the fact that I could actually utilize my identities to make learning way more interesting rather than being controlled by unconscious identity. Especially multicultural identity helped me a lot to have a total new learning experience. My Japanese ethnicity and culture background gave me a different perspective than anyone else in the class. My Minnesotan culture gave me a different perspective in Japan. Jackson says that as a result of in-betweenness, multicultural identity gives us the ability to cross many culture borders. I was exposed to so many new cultures, languages, and people in here, which helped my learning experience to be valuable. And I definitely could have never ever done that in Japan. So I am really proud of myself stepping out of the comfort zone. I showed 2 stories with the social, racial, class, and the multicultural identities to describe who I am right now. No one knows that I struggled and is still struggling with my ethnicity. No one knows that I had a hard time when I decided to go to the US university, and I was actually really scared. However, my dear parents told this tiny human being to be strong and smile always. Be nice and respectful, and always believe in people. Here I am, struggling but striving and living the best time of my life. One thing I have learned after thinking who I am over and over again is that do not let your identities bother you to be you. You're not identical. Identities are not here for you to be accepted, but for you to be you.